passionate, right? So we know why we're all here. We know we're worried. We know we're concerned more than just about these awful cuts that have been announced to the arts sector by the federal government, but also about what this signals about the kind of Canada we want to live in. And our concern is not necessarily about the specific cuts. We're not here to sort of protect at all costs the status quo, but it's really about the collective assault on the arts without consultation. In light of the outcry that's been heard by artists, the rally of 2,500 people in Montreal, the daily articles and letters in the media, you know, there really has been no comprehensive explanation from the government about why the cuts are happening, actually just more cuts. But you know what? You don't need me to stoke the fires. The fires are stoked, we're all hot. So I say this is a wake-up call, and it's time to flex our muscle. And you know, what I want to say is we've got the muscle, more now than ever before. And that's what I want to talk about. So yes, we've referred to some jobs and economic factors, but according to the very recent Conference Board of Canada's report, our sector directly contributed $46 billion to the Canadian gross domestic product. That's 3.8%. Moreover, the board estimates that the indirect, the induced impact on the economy was 7.4%, $84.6 billion. Now that is muscle. 1/3 of all Canadians, 91 million Canadians, attended a live performing arts event in 1998. Similarly, 7.8 million attended a museum and art gallery. And in Toronto, we've got over 10 million people alone who go to movies, documentaries, book readings, theater, music concerts, every single year. This is muscle. These are citizens, they're donors, they're volunteers who are engaged by the arts. And they have friends and family who can learn of their experience. More directly, we have friends and relatives in the GTA, in other parts of this province, in ridings where local politicians may not necessarily understand the value of the arts. We have colleagues and fellow arts workers and union organizations across this country. And in Toronto, we have friends in the labor movement and all across the social service sector, and with other nonprofit networks who understand that a threat to the arts is a threat to society. And this is good, and it's kind of new, and alliances are really, 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 really important. So, you know, I just want to say that we've also got really excellent national and provincial arts service organizations, many of whom are in the room tonight. And they're poised to join in a concerted campaign. And you may recall that 3 years ago when we had the Canadian Arts Coalition campaign to double the funds to the Canada Council, that was successful for the first time in history. So, you know, we now have the opportunity with this election, we have a new opportunity. So now the strategy. You know, it's this ability to be connected in a joint campaign, in a simple message. indeed in a demand to know from not just the Conservatives, but from every single political party where they stand on cultural policy. That is our greatest strength. Even though we've got some very good political friends and allies in this room, we have to hold their feet to the fire. So, we need a concerted Toronto strategy, and I'm really happy to work on this. I'm passionate about this. And we need a concerted, coordinated national strategy. And our strategy needs, in fact, it demands that we bring this beyond the cares and concerns of artists, which is what is also so exciting about the focus of this meeting tonight. This is about Canadians who love their culture, and that Canada is going to be damaged by politicians who don't recognize this. So, to end it up, or my last little what can we do? What can we do individually and collectively? And I think it's great that this new Department of Culture is being set up, and there's going to be some other ideas. These are just my thoughts. But what we can do is log on and link your Facebook pages to other websites, such as the national website of the Canadian Conference of the Arts. They've got great arguments and analysis. To the website of the Canadian Arts Coalition, which is going to be updated as of this Friday. And both these national organizations are in contact with all the national service organizations of the country, so we can get one message going. Toronto Arts Council, or the Toronto Arts Coalition, will keep you informed locally of events and will link you to other sites. More particularly, you can blog and write letters, not just to the Globe and Mail and the CBC, but what could really be important is to small local papers who are not necessarily getting the same kind of letters as the Star is. Write to your candidates, ask for their cultural platforms. Sample letters will be available, if they're not already, on various websites that I've mentioned. Volunteer to help your candidates in any way possible. Also, yes, that's a good thing to applaud to, because they need help. But also, really critically, for those who run organizations, get your board involved. Assign a board member to be as passionate about this issue as you are. We need to bring this beyond the arts, beyond the artists. Talk to the gallery attendees, the audience members, put inserts in the program. I know we've said this before, but we've got to reach out beyond our own colleagues. And you know what? We've got, Toronto Arts Council alone funds over 18,000 events. That's 7.5 million people. So think if we can have an impact on even a fraction of those. This is our muscle. This is our power. And if there is, finally wrapping up, if there's only one thing you can do, I have a suggestion to reach out to two unlikely ambassadors, you know, who can remind their candidates that Canadians love their culture. People who you wouldn't normally think of. Reach out to them, maybe your crotchety uncle. If you know someone in the 905, in the 705, in Orillia, in Sault Ste. Marie, in Kamloops, Hamilton, Canmore, call them, get them on set, tell them what it means to you and what it means to them. We know we can organize. We actually do it really, really well now. We can reach beyond our arts community. We can make a difference. We can connect to our audiences every day. And you know, I'm pretty passionate about this stuff, but I have to say it's also fun. And as long as we keep on having fun, we can win, and you know, we can never lose. So thank you very, very much for this opportunity.